welcome to this week's edition of Lunchtime with the Word, where we seek to get personal with Jesus. I want to keep chipping away at that question, how do we get personal with Jesus? We know, and when we read the scripture, that Jesus indeed wants to be in a personal relationship with us. How do we nurture that relationship? And so today, I want to jump back to the beginning of the farewell discourse, John chapter 13, where Jesus says, he tells his disciples that he is going away. And then he simply says, I give you a new commandment. Love each other just as I have loved you, so also you must love each other. One of the ways that we can learn or understand, or the way that Jesus taught his disciples, let me back up and say this. Jesus wasn't just beginning to teach his disciples about that. He had been teaching them about that through his teachings, his words, but also through his actions. And so one of the ways that we can get personal with Jesus is to go back and jump into the Gospels and read the stories of Jesus Christ, his teachings and his miracles, and read his parables, and seek to understand more of who Jesus is. I referred to this once before, but I'm going to refer to it again. The Apprentice study, a great way to jump into the gospel of Jesus Christ and to allow Jesus to get personal with you, is to take bits of the gospel message in the gospel of Jesus Christ according to Matthew, according to Luke, according to John, according to Mark. In those gospels, read sections of those gospels and ask yourself this question: what seems important to Jesus? What kind of questions is Jesus asking people? What kind of questions are people asking Jesus? And then what might Jesus be asking me to do or be? Those are some questions that can really bring insight and into the words of Jesus and his teachings, and can make them applicable to us. They're a way that through the scripture, through this book, Jesus can actually get personal with us and help form and shape the way we live. So the scripture is a great way to get personal with Jesus. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about the scripture today. The scripture, the Gospels, are the story of Jesus, and it seems to me that this scripture, this book we call the Holy Bible, is a Christ-centered book. And what I mean by that is, as we read through the Gospels and then move on to the epistle letters, which are written by the apostles like Paul, Peter, and others, they point back to the story of Jesus. They also reference the Old Testament scriptures, and if we start to explore that and read in the Old Testament, we start to find that the Old Testament is pointing towards Jesus. And so the scriptures are this Christ-centered book. The scriptures are the story of God. In the beginning, God created. And in the end of the scripture, God is restoring and making all things new. And he does that through Jesus Christ. If you want to get personal with Jesus, the scriptures are a great place to start. But I suggest you start in the Gospels and learn about Jesus, and then allow the rest of the scripture to further inform who Jesus is. Get personal with Jesus. Learn about the story of God as revealed to us through the Holy Scriptures. Until next week, get personal with Jesus as you read the Word. I'll see you next week on Lunchtime with the Word.